Hey everyone, this is Stacking Kat, and I am back with a brand new video about silver. And today I'm going to take a stroll down memory lane and talk about the history of the American Silver Eagle. So please stay tuned.
Stacking Kat.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to the Stacking Kat channel, where I talk all things silver with a little bit of gold. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please do so, and push that notification bell, smash that like button, and leave a comment. That would be awesome. So today I'm going to talk about the history of the American Silver Eagle, from its inception to where we are today. So let's get right into it. As stackers, we all know the importance of the American Silver Eagle. It really is the foundational piece that you should have for your stack. This is particularly true here in the United States and across North America. Now, across the globe, it may be different. In the UK, it's probably the Britannia. In Australia, the kangaroo. However, the American Silver Eagle is the most popular bullion coin across the globe. And let's get into how this happened. So the Liberty Coin Act was passed in 1985, and this was to authorize the Secretary of the Treasury to mint and issue silver bullion coins. Coin specifications would include the diameter, weight, fineness, general design, inscriptions, and edge finish. There would be numismatic and legal tender specifications. It would be purchased from the silver stockpile. The effective date would be October 1st, 1985, and that no coins could be issued or sold before September 1st of 1986. So the size would be 40.6 millimeters in diameter, 31.103 grams, and of most importance, 3 nines fine silver. This was important considering that previous iterations of the US silver dollars were 90% silver and 10% copper. As we see, the Morgan silver dollar fell under this category, as well as its successor, the peace dollar. And so one of the reasons for this was that the American Silver Eagle did not have to be produced for durability, as they are not issued as a circulated currency or coinage. And although they say $1 on them, they are, however, under Section 202F of the Liberty Coin Act, valued to the public equal to the market value of silver bullion at the time of sale. So meaning the intrinsic value of silver was first and foremost in assessing the cost to the consumer. So the silver used to produce the American Silver Eagle was to be obtained from the Strategic Stockpile. So what is the Strategic Stockpile? So formed in 1968, the Defense National Stockpile was created to help ensure that the United States will have the materials it needs in the time of crisis. Remember that this was during the Cold War and in the middle of the Vietnam War. As a result of this new stockpile, a donation was made from the U.S. Treasury of 165 million ounces of silver. The silver was stored at both the San Francisco and West Point mints, and as early as 1979, it was determined that the probable wartime supply exceeds U.S. requirements. 2 years later, in 1981, the Reagan administration made a request that the United States sell off its silver supply over a 3-year period in a way to balance the federal budget. However, the U.S. Armed Service Committee believed it was of greater importance to sell this silver to protect the silver market as a response to the Hunt brothers silver hoarding scandal, which is a story for another video. It's a good one. Maybe I'll get into it one of these days. And so this led the U.S. assay offices of San Francisco and New York to produce and sell silver in the forms of rounds and bars with the expected duration of 3 years. And as you can see, this is the 1 ounce bar. Pretty nice. 1981 U.S. assay office. And here is the 1 ounce round. Similar to the bar. So 1981 as well. And that was the only year that they were produced, and they were sold in 1982 as a group of politicians from Idaho led by Senator James A. McClure proposed an amendment to the Department of Defense Appropriation Bill HR 4995, which would suspend the project over concerns of a potentially disastrous effect on the U.S. silver mining industry. The Appropriations Bill was signed into law with the amendment in place, and sales were halted. So as a replacement for the U.S. Assay Office silver disbursement, Senator McClure introduced a bill to dispose of the silver in the stockpile in a way which would have a positive impact on both the mining industry and the U.S. taxpayer, which was to issue a silver-bearing coin with a proposed dollar amount backed up by the U.S. government, rather than a pure offload of silver. And the path to the American Silver Eagle was in place. The bill was not approved until 1985, after arguments and amendments, and of course, government gridlock. The Liberty Coin Act was passed and enacted in a way to deplete the U.S. silver stockpile. This would be done over a period of several years in a way to minimize the effect on an already depressed price of silver. The stockpile was on the verge of running out in 2002, which resulted in the support of the American Eagle Silver Bullion Program Act being introduced by Nevada Senator Harry Reid. This was done as a way to authorize the Treasury to purchase the silver on the open market when the stockpile was fully depleted. The first American Silver Eagle was minted on October 29, 1986 in San Francisco. While presiding over the historic event, the Secretary of the Treasury, James Baker, would state, "I don't need a pick and a shovel to start the San Francisco Silver Rush of 1986. Of course, this is in reference to the famous gold rush of 1849, which occurred in the same region of California. So the obverse of the coin would feature the famed Walking Liberty image designed by Adolph A. Weinman and used on the U.S. half dollar from 1946 through 1947. Weinman also designed the Mercury dime as well as various medals for the U.S. Armed Services. Just a beautiful design. Wow. The reverse displayed a heraldic eagle, which was designed by John Mercanti, who was the 12th chief engraver of the United States Mint, and he retired in 2010. And from 1986 through 1998, the eagle was minted in San Francisco. In 1999, eagles began to be minted in both Philadelphia and West Point, as the San Francisco facility did not have a large enough production capacity. However, they continued to manufacture and produce proofs and other commemoratives. So the first year of the coin had a mintage of over 5.3 million bullion coins and over 1.4 million proof versions. And due to a great demand for the new American Silver Eagle, the amount of bullion coins for 1987 were more than doubled to 11.4 million produced. However, proof sales lagged in the first year, resulting in a decrease of 500,000. So 1987 proved to be an outlier, as the mintage of bullion coins averaged about 7 million per year through 2007, and proofs at the 600,000 mark. In 2008, the number of American Silver Eagles minted grew exponentially as demand for silver and precious metals alike grew both during and during the aftermath of a global financial crisis, which makes a lot of sense, as like most of us believe, many more people began to understand just how volatile our current monetary system is. But I digress. However, mintage numbers have once again dropped, this beginning in 2017, which is, I think, the reason why we're now seeing such an increase in the varieties of both bullion coins and rounds, as the potential for the market share was opening. We're seeing a lot more coins coming out from different countries, as the whole idea of producing silver and selling it to the public, being backed up by a sovereign government and mint, is really a smart thing to do financially for these different countries. There's dozens of countries that produce silver and gold bullion, for that matter, out there. It's just really giving us a great chance to stack and collect at the same time without having to pay really outrageous collector-style premiums, even though, as we know, what's going on across the globe with the silver market and their premiums has really differed from the past. However, it's just something, there's ebbs and flows. It's just something we have to deal with and kind of fight through. So, but I digress again. So as you can see, the American Silver Eagle really is the silver bullion coin that made the biggest impact on the market and on the whole idea of stacking. Like I said, it's a foundational piece. It's really something that you should have in your stack. It's extremely liquid and recognizable. Bullion dealers across the globe will always make an offer on it, and usually at a little higher premium than whatever the retail market is going for. So just something to consider, especially if you're new to stacking. Try to get those American Silver Eagles, and it really did. It led the way a couple of years after. In 1988, Canada came out with their bullion coin, the Maple Leaf, which is right up there with the Eagle as something that you really want to stack. Same idea, backed up by a sovereign government, a real recognizable bullion coin, and so on. And just the influx has continued since then. In 1990, the Kookaburra came out in Australia. The Britannia eventually came out, and we've just seen a real demand for all things silver, especially as we get through difficult economic times. And thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to see similar videos about silver, then please consider subscribing and pushing that notification bell, smashing that like button, and leaving a comment. And until next time, this is the Stacking Cat.